Hi, everyone. This is Donna McDonald, National Executive Director, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you Executive Director Marna Ross. Give us a wave, Marna.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, we are so excited to have Marna here. I want to share a little bit about Marna's journey with Pampered Chef. She started in 1997, has an amazing career sales of $1,950,000, excuse me. How awesome is that? So she is right on the verge of a $2 million mark. So woohoo, congratulations.
Hey, thanks.
Thanks on that, Marna. Just to give you an idea, Marna does an average of 140 shows per year. So she definitely has her Pampered Chef bookings and her sales down to a science. And that's one of the reasons that I asked Marna to join us today, is to share some of her booking strategies. So the first thing that I'd like to ask Marna is, Marna, could you share a little bit about how you started Pampered Chef and where you live, since not everybody is aware of kind of how you're
Absolutely. Yeah, well, thanks, Donna, for having me, and thanks everybody out there on your team and elsewhere. So it's really a great pleasure to be with you today. Well, let me just tell you how I got started, and I bet it's going to resonate with some of you. I was much younger. I was working a full-time job. I had 3 children that I was raising, and at that time they were 8, 12, and 14. I was divorced, so I was on my own, and I had plenty of work because I had a full-time job. But I went to work one day, and a friend of mine at work had a Pampered Chef catalog on her desk. And I said, oh, I love Pampered Chef. She said, me too. She said, I've got to go to this party. Do you want to go with me? I said, yeah, I'd love to, because it happened to be on a night that I was open. And she said, and she added, and this girl is always bugging me to sell Pampered Chef, but I can't do it because I have a bad back. But she'll give me a $25 gift certificate if I refer somebody. Remember that old trick that we used to give a gift certificate or something if they refer? And I said, well, I think I could do this. It was totally spur of the moment, but I did go to the party, and I did see how fun it was. The consultant made the food. It was delicious. And when I started, I really started for the products. I loved the kit because I had lost a lot of my products in my divorce. I was looking for a fun night out. The income was kind of secondary at that point, but it really was just no thought really behind it. I wasn't looking for anything. It just kind of fell in my lap.
Great. Thanks, Marna. That's wonderful for giving us a kind of a little bit of insight there.
Yeah.
So, Marna, since this call is all about bookings, the first question that I have for you is share, the ways that you encourage your guests at parties to book parties.
All right. Well, I use a couple of methods, and my biggest trick is to use recipes and themes, and I really, really hone in on the fun of a party. I know we're going to talk about, the monthly host specials in a minute, and that's part of it. But the bigger part is trying to get people to love what you did that night and to want more. So, for example, one of the things I use is a booking binder like this. And I have 6 different themes that they pick from. So, for instance, I just edited this today, and one of my themes is Christmas brunch. And then I put on the menu, turkey cranberry ring and holiday punch. Classic holiday entertaining. On the menu, mini ham puffs. Can you believe that old recipe? And hot pumpkin pie dip. A Christmas make and take. And the way I use this is after we talk about what we've made tonight and everybody's loving that, then I'll go into my bookings talk and talk about, for those of you who, want more than what you can afford tonight. I know you love Donna, but it sounds like your wish lists are way bigger than, your love for Donna, our host tonight. So we should have a party. These are the themes that I'm offering this fall. So what I'd love to do is pass this book around. And if you could, Mary, read the first theme out loud to us. So somebody reads the theme and they read the menu. And then people go, oh, that one sounds good. Oh, and then I might say, as it's passing around, so which one do you think you'd pick, Donna, or whatever. So I really hype up the food, the drink, the experience. That's my biggest trick for getting bookings. And then, to go along with it, I know not everybody wants to, come up with different themes. Use the company themes then, but use them. Don't ignore them. And then You know, I'm not a big fan of, you know, it's the turkey cranberry month, take it or leave it method. I know some people like that, but people want a choice. At least give them two choices, and at least give them something different than what they're doing that night. And I also use alcohol. Hello. I'm of that age. But look, if you don't use alcohol as a hook, then use a signature drink. One of the drinks I have on my menu is called Pink Noels. It's just cranberry juice and some other things. But, you know, the company's talking about the experience. Make it an experience that people want to repeat, and they can't wait to find out what you've got up your sleeve the next time. So that's one of my methods, and that's my major method. If I'm short on bookings, if I haven't got the bookings that I want on my calendar, especially short-term bookings, then what I'll pull out is a 3-booking gift for the host. I might offer something small to the people as they book, like pick from my bag or do a now and later bag or something. But I try to give the host a gift for 3 bookings. And that does a couple of things. First of all, it rewards the host so that she's more likely to help. And then I can use something like, okay, so when our host Mary gets 3 bookings tonight, I have this gift for her, and I'll hand her whatever it is, and she can open up the envelope or look. And sometimes it's as simple as any item up to $50 for free at the 3rd party. And I want to explain to you the difference between $50 product and $50 worth of free. When you position it as any item up to $50, there might not be something she wants that's $50, and it might only be $30 or $40. If you say $50 worth of free, she can buy a whole bunch of little stuff and get it. It makes a big difference if you just say $50 product. And what this will do is a lot of times get me the 2 bookings, which I'm perfectly happy with. And then I don't have to give away the gift for the 3rd booking. But that's another way that I get bookings when I really need them. And it can only be in the time frame I wanted. If they want to book in January, that's great, but there would be no gift for that.
Okay. Thanks, Marna. I love how you first start with creating the picture and the desire with the recipes and around the food. So you're getting people to visualize how fun their party can be.
Correct.
And something totally different than they just experienced.
Right.
Right. And thank you so much for that clarification on the one product, you know, for up to $50. I think that's probably one of the first questions if we had everyone here live that they would ask. So I love that. Thank you so much. So you mentioned earlier about using host specials. Do you use our host specials to book parties?
If it's a great one and I need bookings in that month, absolutely. But I really don't use them as my general booking line. And I think that as a company as a whole, it's probably a better idea not to fall into that trap, because what will happen, as I'm sure you all know, since you're all emerging leaders, if not leaders, is that if you let hosts do what I call cherry pick the month, you'll get holes in your calendar. Not every month is going to be that blowout month of, you know, anything at 60% off. So I really focus on the fun and the food, and then you'd be crazy not to, because you're going to get a huge shopping spree. I might use, you know, hey, my average host gets $215 worth of free and lots of half price. But after that, the 60% off special is kind of secondary. Hold on just one second. You gotta love live TV. Dog was chewing things up, and I know you could hear that rattling, so I apologize. So if it is a good 60% off, and I'm saying they're all good, but if it's a month that I still have openings and I want to book, then what I would do, let's say this new special that's out this month, and I know people still need November bookings, so could I share how I've been positioning that special?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the Rock Crux, a lot of people have the Rock Crux, and people are going, oh my gosh, we should have just given them that bag by itself or whatever. People don't need the whole set. Yes, they do. Most people have one or the other. They've either got the everyday or the Dutch oven. So you could say, so ladies, we showed you the everyday Rock Crux tonight, and I know you all are dying to get it. And if you've already got it, I know that you're thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to get that stand, you know, that slow cooking stand and that carrier. So look, the base alone is $60. So for $17 more, for 70, or I think it's $18 more, for $78.60, we're not only going to get you the space that you need, we're going to get you another rock crack, and we're going to get you the bag basically for free. And you could use it as a gift, or I have to tell you, girls, I need 2 rock cracks going all the time. Tonight we used 2. We used one for our dessert and one to cook our chicken. Or if you've already got the Dutch oven, go ahead and pick up the everyday. By booking a party, we can get you the everyday rock crack and the base and the bag for just a few dollars more than just that slow cooker base is going to cost you. So I'm just encouraging you, if that's on your list, go for it, and let's have a party yet this month. I'm booking cooking parties the last week in November, and if that doesn't work for your schedule, then we can do a catalog party. And here's my caveat: I don't do a whole lot of virtual parties, so I don't even offer virtual parties. I'll do a Facebook party in conjunction with it. That's my style. So I don't go into that whole virtual, because my fear is that, and it's my own thing, that they will all pick virtual, and I want to do cooking parties. My husband is 72 years old. I want to be anywhere but home. Hello. That's one of my booking lines too.
Thanks, Marna. And you know what? You're so right. And first, talking about the host, our host promotion, just what we have, just our regular party plan is a fabulous party plan. Just, the specials should just be gravy. So wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Okay. So now my next question is, what if you don't get bookings at your party, Myrna? What's your next course of action?
Cry, drink. No. The mantra in this business has to be 2 bookings at every party. And you all know that, because one replaces, one grows, you got to have some insurance, et cetera, et cetera. So if I leave a party without any bookings, the first thing that I'll do is talk to my host before I leave. She's going to be getting some outside orders for me. So I may throw a little bone her way about picking up a booking for me from those that she's chatting about. But if that fails, let's just say the party is completely dry, then I really do look to replace with 2 new bookings, fresh from Facebook, from making some messages, going back to past hosts, calling a few people. And that's how I've always been able to keep up my calendar. Because if you go through a dry spot, a couple of parties, and we all have them, it happens, either the people are tapped out or they just weren't a good partying group, then if you keep waiting and you keep waiting for the business to come back, you've lost precious ground. So you can't. You have to make up for that in some way. And while we're chatting about Facebook, just a little bit, if I could just share just a couple of tips about Facebook. Do you care?
Please, go right ahead.
All right, because I really, love Facebook, but I really hate the way people use it. One of the most ineffective things you can do is just keep going out to Facebook. Hey, who wants to have a party? Hey, I'm giving a gift. Who wants to have a party? Number one, Facebook is not going to produce this booking, just throw it in your lap. It's just not going to happen. People are not going to respond to that. They're going to respond better to a personal message. But one of the things that you have to do every single day is comment on at least 15 posts out on your Facebook feed. If you want to use Facebook as a tool, you can't just you have to comment, because that builds bridges with all kinds of people. And it also brings them into your news feed, because you can post things on Facebook that people never see. Facebook decides who gets this stuff. And if you're a Facebook, what I call lurker, that you're always just looking at stuff, but you never comment, your stuff's not going to get seen. So use Facebook. So smart. That's why sometimes you'll see me post things, just little questions like, hey, here's what I'm cooking for dinner. What are you making? I want people to comment, because that builds bridges in Facebook. So resist the urge just to go the easy route all the time and put out there, hey, I'm looking for 2 more parties. That might work if you're a really established consultant and you've got thousands of friends and they've all done parties with you and might want to repeat. But until you're really established and have a lot of people, I just think you shoot yourself in the foot. So off my soapbox.
That's great. That is great advice, Marna. You're so right. We see that so often. People just keep posting, a sales pitch and without establishing the relationship first. So wonderful advice. Okay. So Marna, you have 375 team members. So
right.
I'm sure that you come across this question or this challenge that people have is that they feel like they've tapped everyone in their contact list. When your team members come to you with that concern, what's your answer?
You know, it does seem sometimes like I've asked everybody, you know, that whole everybody, nobody, all of that comes into play. But, you know, I live in a little town of 400 people. You'd asked me, you know, earlier about my story. I mean, today I live in a very small town, right? And even in this little rinky-dink town, I have not done a party with everybody that's here. That's for sure. So first thing I would say is, first of all, you know, let's reset your thought process. Go back and get rid of that. Because when you think that, when your brain hears you, you know, feeding that to your brain, because your brain doesn't know anything more than what you tell it. When you keep saying that, nobody, I can't find any bookings, everybody's done parties, your brain believes it because that's all, you know, it only knows. So know this, there is business to be had. There's booming business. So the first thing that I always tell people to do is host some kind of party of their own at their house in the next 7 to 10 days. And I'm not just talking about, hey, come and buy party. I'm talking about a cooking class, a free cooking class. I'm talking about come to do a pie workshop. I'm talking about come to do a Kids in the Kitchen, a free bingo, a holiday bingo, anything other than just saying, hey, you know, come and buy. I like you to have something on your calendar. So you book your own party of some fun kind. Then when you're going to start to make some contacts. So now we're going to think about, well, where am I going to find contacts? Well, first of all, you see people when you're out and about. Make sure, and this is the old advice, but make sure you have something with you. I've been caught without having a catalog or a business card. So how you know, hard is it to throw 10 mini catalogs in your purse? And as you're handing them out, tell them, hey, I'm a director. I'm a future leader with Pampered Chef, and one of my jobs is to pass out 10 mini catalogs. Now, if you want people to call you back from that, you have to give them a reason to. So one of the things that my team has done is put a coupon in for $5 off their next order or $25 extra, a free $25 product for having a party. Now, would you do this all the time? No. Would you do it if you're just absolutely strapped for cash? Probably not. But I bet if you went to a booking store and you could buy bookings and a $25 product, by the time you give them the host discount, which you're entitled to, and you take your commission, is going to cost you maybe $12. If you could get a booking and you paid $12 for it in the next 2 weeks, you might say, yes, I'll go to that store. So out and about contacts, that coupon has helped my team get a call back. Okay, they'll call for that reason. But make sure if you don't do that, that you at least put a prize drawing slip on there and you say something like, you know, every week I do a drawing on Sunday night from people that I meet, and I give away some really great prizes. So let me get you in contact. So that's kind of the out and about. Then I would go back and get rid of the assumption that because somebody, you know, was at a party or hosted a party in the last 6 to 12 months, they're off the table. They are not. That's your warm audience. Those are the people that probably, if you gave them a good reason enough, they would book. So I think that you have to get rid of that misconception that they just were at a party or they hosted for me last year. Doesn't matter. Because when you're starting to, you know, think, okay, there are people I can connect with. I'm going to make some calls. If your booking call does not produce a booking, then you have that party that's coming up next week that you can say, but you know what, I would have loved to have you book your own party, but I am doing a free cooking class next week and I'm going to be showcasing blah, 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 and I'd love you and a friend to come. What would you think about that? So you always can leave the call with an ask for coming to the party that you're doing. If you've been in the business a while, I just looked for a few more bookings for November it was for October, because October did have a great host special. It was 60% off anything. So I called previous consultants, people that were on my team before. They make great hosts in the future. And I got 3 former consultants to do parties with me. And you can bet that I'm going to try to get them to come back. So if they can't do a cooking party when you make your call, then do a catalog party with them. Or if you're a virtual consultant, do a virtual, or have in your back pocket that turkey trot where you get 10 hosts to collect 100. I mean, if you want to do it, there's absolutely no reason you cannot do it. There is no reason. People want Pampered Chef more than ever. We just have to go back to the basics that our company was founded on. Build a relationship with people. Tell them, what you'll make at the party. Get them to want it. And I promise you, they're going to come your way. So that's just a little bit about that.
Thank you, Marna. I used to love, first of all, just to kind of recap, I love how, connect with food first, use our host program. It's a valuable tool. Use your host as your helper. And the biggest one was stop assuming.
Correct.
Assume that people don't want to host or they've already recently been to shows. You shared so many great ideas. I so appreciate your expertise and sharing from your heart. So thank you for joining the call.
Donna. Thanks for having me. Bye, you guys. Good luck.
Thanks, Marna.
Okay, take care. Have a good day.